Here we go. Chat. You ready? Y'all want to live some past trauma? A test to judge how good your parents were. Let's do it together.
Strangely, and rather awkwardly, it seems that no human being can ever really grow up sane unless it's been loved very deeply by somebody else for a number of years in its early life.
I'm completely sane.
But we're still learning what good parents might actually be like. How good were yours? Here are 8 principles of good parenting that you might use to grade them.
Attunement.
A loving parent gets down to the child's level, at times literally dropping down to their height when addressing them, in order to see the world through their eyes. They understand that a very young child can't easily fit in with external demands, and that in the early days they must be prioritized and placed at the center of things, not in order to spoil them, but in order to give them a chance to grow. Loving parents understand that their young offspring's lives revolve around details that are, by any adult measure, very minor. Toddlers will feel enormously happy because they can dig their nails into some putty, or have a chance to whack their spoon into some peas with energy, or say "bah" very loudly. And they will feel extremely sad because Pet Rabbit lost one of its buttons, or a page in a favourite book now has a tear in it. The good enough parent feels sufficiently resourceful inside not to hold it against the child that it's making a very big deal out of so-called nothing.
No, that's not how it was. If I made a big deal out of anything, oh boy.
It will follow the child in its excitement over a puddle and in its grief over an uncomfortable sock. It will understand that the child's future ability to be considerate to other people and to handle genuine disasters will be critically dependent on having had an ample fill of sympathy for a range of age-appropriate sorrows. A loving parent will know how to put the best possible interpretation on behaviour that might seem to others to be pretty unfortunate.
Mental.
The small child isn't just a troublemaker, but it has, of course, been very upset by the arrival of a sibling. It isn't antisocial, but it does find a small circle of familiar people especially soothing. It isn't a nightmare, but it does surely need to go to bed pretty soon. This capacity for imaginative, kindly explanations will go...
Chat, I think my upbringing is the main reason why I have anger issues. Yeah, because I had, I was a very I wouldn't say outspoken. I just expressed my emotions through anger, and the answer from my parents was more anger. So that led to me just thinking that, anger was not only an answer, but you know what I mean? It never solved my anger problems, and then I had to go figure it out myself.
Go on to mould the workings of the child's own conscience. It will learn the art of self-forgiveness. It won't have to torture itself for its mistakes. It won't suffer...
Dude, that's me! That's literally me! Oh my god, that's all I do is torture myself anytime I fuck up at anything, dude. Because anger issues, kind of hard to see it, to be honest. Dude, I am a very calm person, so... Literally, if I do something like slightly wrong, I beat myself up for it.
Ravages of self-loathing, or ever, when it messes up badly, be tempted to take its own life.
Yeah, that last part hit really hard. Holy shit, that silence was loud as fuck after that.
The loving parent will feel sufficiently sane to allow a child to be a bit weird for a while, knowing that so-called weird is actually part of normal development.
That's
It won't get flustered that the child has decided to pretend it's an animal, or wants to eat only red-coloured foods, or has an imaginary friend living in the tree at the end of the garden. The adult will have faith in sanity emerging, and in the wisdom of exploring a lot of possible options before choosing to settle on reason. It will be able to remain calm over some intense tantrums and obsessions. It won't need to shut down.
I'll admit that's tough, though. As a parent, dealing with, like, tantrums and a child, like, you know, back-talking you a lot, it gets tough to, like, remain calm the whole time. Like, there are moments where, obviously, I raise my voice to Ezra, but, like, dude, it's hard. It's so hard to not, like, yell at your child or, like, to get upset with your child with situations like this. And every time I, like, have patience with them and, like, it remain calm, I'm like, oh my God, if I did even an ounce of what Ezra's doing to me right now when I was a kid, dude, I'd get spanked so bad.
Down irreverence at every turn. It will be patient around low moods and unruffled by adolescent surliness.
What's up, Payday?
The parent won't assign labels to the child that might fix it in a role it was only trying out. It will be wary of telling a child that it is the angry one, the little philosopher, or even the kind one. It will allow the child the
That's how my siblings were.
luxury of picking its own identity. The good parent knows that children may well cling for a long time and will never dismiss this natural need for reassurance in pejorative terms. It won't tell the child to buck up and be a good little man or a nice young lady who can make me proud. It will know that those who end up securely attached and able to tolerate absence are those who were originally allowed to have as much dependence and connection as they needed.
Trauma, the video,
There will be few requests to be brave at the school gates. A good parent won't set themselves up as an impossibly glamorous or remote figure, someone whom the child may be tempted to idealize and ruminate over from afar. They will know how to be present and very ordinary around the house, dignified perhaps, but also on occasion ratty, forgetful, silly, and greedily keen to have too much dessert. The good parent will know that parental quirks and flaws are there to remind a child to reconcile.
I feel like one big thing is talk to your child as a person, not a child, if that makes sense. Because, you know, like, they're people. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I was younger, I you know, it's that's how it was. It's like, I'm the parent, you're the child. That's how things are. You're only to be talked to as a child, and you're only talked to me as a parent. You know, I was never really treated as a person when I was younger. But that's how Ezra and like me, Ezra and Amy were basically a tight-knit squad. You know, we talk to each other like we're normal people, not like we're, you know, in certain labels, if that makes sense.
Itself to its own humanity, and also eventually to leave home and get on with their own lives. A good parent will know how to appear very boring. It will understand that what a child chiefly needs is a source of reliable calm, not fireworks and excitement. It has enough of these inside its own mind.
Yeah.
It should be there, in the same place, saying more or less the same things for decades. It should take care to be predictable and to edit out its surprising moods. The child doesn't need a full picture of every perturbance and temptation coursing through its carers' minds. The parent accepts.
What? I have a goo goo gaga mentality. See what I mean? See what I'm talking about with this kid? He's laughing it up over there, over that.
That mummy or daddy are roles, not full representations.
True.
It should be the privilege of every child not to have to know its parents in complete detail.
He got you? All right.
The good parent isn't looking for a balanced relationship. It's happy to give unilaterally. It doesn't need to be asked how its day was or what it thinks of the government's new policy on insurance. It knows that a child should be able to take a parent substantially for granted. The parent's reward for all their work won't ever be direct. It will arrive by noting in many years' time that their child has just developed into a very good parent themselves. Put simply, love is the considerate, tender, hugely patient behaviour displayed by an adult over many years towards a child who
What do you
cannot
think of the
help but be
government?
largely
Hey, boy, what you think about the government? What do you think about them damn libs?
out of control, confused, frustrating and bewildered. All in order that this child
What do
might
you think
over
about them
time grow into an adult
LGBTQs?
who can take its place in society without too much of a loss of
He's going to keep coming in and saying that now? He thinks it's hilarious.
spontaneity, without too much terror, and with a basic
Yeah, I
trust
know.
in its own capacities and chances of fulfillment. It should be a matter of global consternation that despite our many advances, we are still
Yeah, who you voting for, boy? Who you voting for, huh? Yeah, boy. You voting blue? I don't think so, boy. You best be voting red. Dude, that makes me think of, did you guys ever see that video of these kids? And this one kid's like, don't ever call me that. And his dad's like, wait, what did he call you? A Democrat. Dude, brainwashing them early. Let's go. Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.